My name is Angela Johnson. I am from Nelson Lagoon, and we are an Unangan community. We have a very small population. We have about 35 residents who live there year-round. Years ago, we would get a lot of ice buildup, ice as far as the eye could see, and there would be a big ice bench in front of town along the beach. So we would never have to worry about the high winds, the big storms that come through in the wintertime, because we were protected by all the ice. And we would go snow machining, go ice fishing, do our hunting for our caribou and ptarmigan like that in the wintertime. We don't get that ice anymore. We rarely even see ice in our river anymore because there's no snow. Now we have to go out there and drive through all of the tundra, and the tundra is deep. We're risking it to go get some meat, but we need it. We need it for our community, for our homes, for our freezers, and it's even difficult to get past this area in between town and where we go to go hunt because it's getting thinner and thinner. When the high tide comes, it sometimes goes over, so it's going over and almost getting right into the river. Our water source is 10 miles west of our community. And so we have a water transfer line buried underground that goes all the way to the water lake. We start the pump up down there and it pumps the water to town to holding tanks in the community. Now, in certain areas, all that land is gone and the water line has been being exposed. Over the last 4 years or so, the erosion has been so bad that it has washed out about half of our water transfer line. When that happens, when we have to pump water in the winter, the line is froze. We have gotten a majority of it reburied, and it's very stressful because now we have winter coming and we don't know what's gonna happen. It could get all washed out again. This is just one certain area that's been being washed out. It could start hitting other places. It's eroding all the way down along our beach. Another thing that we noticed how the climate crisis is impacting us is storms are more unpredictable. We used to just have beautiful summers. Everybody would be fishing, and then when there were days off, we would all go out subsisting, getting all of our beach greens, going down the coast, and we go berry picking. Now, with this more frequent storms, we are having bad berry seasons where there has been too much rain and too much wind. There's obviously environmental impacts of warming waters. We study our river, we know how it looks, we know how the channel moves, we know how when we get lots of ice, the ice cleans everything out. It kind of cleans out all that grass that's been growing. If you're not getting the ice, the grass is growing thicker up in the river. I feel like that could be affecting the salmon, but that needs to be studied more. We don't really know for sure. What we do know in our town is that we're getting affected by intercept fishery. Our river system is being depleted because of the interception. And that's something that we know for sure, that we have evidence. We know where the fish are coming from and where they go and how their route is to get into our river. We know where the other people are fishing. It is intercepting our fish. We've been fighting that for years. When I was a young girl, my dad was working on this. Board of Fish is only 3-year cycles, so you gotta wait every 3 years to go and try to make a difference and try to do something. We're just getting beat. The climate crisis is something that is being used against us in that way, where they're telling us, well, the climate change. It's like, well, how come you guys are setting out then up there for 30,000 pounds of salmon in one set? And my little village with my local people who live here year round in this community is only getting maybe 1,000 pounds of fish all day, not in one set. And then we notice when it closes where we're being intercepted from, then we see a push of fish after a couple days that they're closed because they're able to get past. That was last year, we did not get enough fish to put away. Our borough helped us out and got a donation from Peter Pan Seafoods, and they sent us fish for each household, which was very nice and very helpful. But that's one of those things where it's a Band-Aid. It's not gonna solve the problem. It's not gonna help us in the long run, and that's what we need to address. We are a protect and place community. So in ways that we do that, we need to get a breakwater in front of town on the riverside to help protect homes and infrastructure from the high waters and the big storms, but we're only able to do that for our riverside there's not much we can do on the Bering Sea side. It's just too powerful. Where we're located and how our land is moving and all the studies that we've been doing and all of our erosion monitoring, and we know that the sea level is rising. We know that relocation is in our future. And so while we protect in place, we also have to plan to relocate. Because we have to. We can't go anywhere from where we are. We're living there, which is where all our homes are. We have a really nice village. We have really good water, a lot of really nice infrastructure there. So we're there, we're protecting what we have, while at the same time, we know how long it could take to even think about relocation, because there's so many villages who are going through it, who are ahead of us, their relocation planning, and they're still in their same village, still there dealing with the environmental impacts, still haven't moved yet. It's important for people to know outside of Alaska that it's not just Alaska villages that are being affected. It's gonna happen more frequently to others if we're not doing anything about it on a policy-making level. We're gonna really be hurting, and we already are. Right now in Alaska, all of these villages, all of us, our people up here, are doing this on their own. We are local people living in the village, fighting for our communities, fighting for our tribes. Traditional indigenous knowledge is extremely important when it comes to climate change adaptation. This is an ongoing thing that we have all in Alaska known about and been watching. I've been doing this work for 10 years, and when I first started, I felt very alone. I felt like Nelson Lagoon's problems were our problems. There was nobody to help us. We had to help ourselves. There was nothing out there to help us. When we started expanding, when we started working with AIJ, that was when it really started to click. And I think that is when we started to actually make some progress forward. We're in it together. We're with all these other communities all around the state. Different cultures, Yupik, Inupiat, Unangan, all working together on the same kind of issue, almost the same things, even though we're completely different villages. And also, it's so important because AIJ was able to get all these agencies up here to listen to us and get our voice out there. And we got to be, as a group, present on our communities and show them, like, this is what we are dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and we need your help. And I'm so thankful for them for that, for AIJ, for getting this together and getting our community involved. Yeah, it's really important work, and I hope that we just continue it.